And then finally, this was a biggie. Speaking of Maximum, again, keeping within the theme of the Maximum series, Spidey arriving today, a day after the reveal. Well, everybody was expecting already via like leaks and speculations. The next entry in the Maximum series, and that's Maximum Hulk. Standing pretty tall and pretty girthy. People are speculating that this thing's gonna go for $60. Does it look like it's gonna be worth it? I don't know. $60, it sounds a little obscene for a Marvel Legends, but when it comes to Hulk, the amount of plastic, the weightiness, and to me, the big thing that I look at and go, okay, that's actually kind of neat, but I don't know how much of it they're gonna incorporate it throughout the figure. It's that whole silicone mesh layer that they put on top of the torso. So there's a moment here that they articulate the figure. And sure, you know, they're trying to sweeten the deal with this, like, break apart missile piece that I personally don't care for. I'm like, all right, yeah, you got to break apart missile piece to make it look like he's either shooting it back or dismantling it. And it's going to come with alternate heads and alternate hands and the clapping effect to, like I said, kind of add value to that overall package and live up to the Maximum line. But the thing that stood out to me as going like, okay, if you guys are going to be incorporating this, you can't just half-ass it and do it once and then never do it again. I'm like, nah, I expect this to be brought back. Come on. You guys have the money. You guys are charging crazy. Where does he do it? There's a moment where he moves the shoulders and you can see the slight elasticity of that rubberized. Oh, right there, right there, right there. Look, he presses on the figure. Right there. Right here. So I do think that that's actually kind of cool. That's actually a little bit nice. I respect that. Is it enough to warrant that $60 price tag? I don't know. And on top of that, I'm not the biggest Hulk fan. So some of these like specific head sculpts with like the curved hair and the specific art style to the head, I don't know if it speaks to me. The only thing that, like I said, speaks to me greatly is the build quality of the figure, that mesh skin on top of the torso, and then those clapping effects. And they were also making it a big deal about his hands are now able to touch. And I'm like, you guys are describing it like a feature. To me, it sounds like a problem that you guys needed to fix by just making the figure. Like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, it sounds like a problem you guys made. And now you're like, well, now we can do this. I'm like, yeah, well, you should have done it before. Here's the shot. This is the shot that I was thinking about. Where he's like flexing the torso. You can kind of see that. Yeah, that right there. Like, it does look neat. But going, in 50 to 60, $10 increment from Spidey, I'm like, that wouldn't be terrible. It wouldn't be like a steal, obviously. And again, I'm not the biggest Hulk fan, so I don't really anticipate picking this up for myself at all, really. But it's definitely something to watch out for as far as what Marvel Legends is doing as a company. And they're keeping thematically tied to the same style of box. There you go. But of course, naturally, it's going to be green instead of red. So, yeah. Now, if they bump it up to like 70, that's where we're going to have to pump the brakes a little bit. Because if we find out that this thing is 70, I'm like, I don't think I see enough to warrant jumping from 50 to 70, if I'm being honest. Because, yes, you got the 3 heads. How many hands, though? 6 hands, technically. Fists, gripping, and clapping. And then you get the effects, but at the same time, I'm like... So how much was the mesh material on the torso? Because... Yeah, right now... So, pre-orders April 10th at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Western... April 10th, so next Friday? Yes, no, next Thursday, sorry. Next Thursday, available at Amazon and fan channels, meaning BBTS, Entertainment Earth, and Pulse. So everywhere except brick and mortar. So no Walmart, no Target, which are frankly the only two. So again, I'm like, and yet you guys are still not listing price. They're probably going to do it the same way that they did with Spidey through a comment on their Instagram. And I still think that that's kind of shady. From like a analytical perspective, it's something that we are going to have to keep tabs on as far as what the maximum series is going to do. Because similar to what Nintendo's doing, pricing Mario Kart at $80, possibly even $90, I'm looking at Marvel Legends the same way, where I'm like, okay, you know, when is enough? Because with that Hulk, 60 would be, you know, if Marvel Legends, Hasbro, if you guys are watching this, 60, not 70, because I'm not seeing a $20 increment justification. I'm not.